Good morning, all of you. Today I am going to start photodiode. In earlier lecture, we had already done light emitting diode. Actually, the mechanism required to understand the physics of photodiode and physics of LED. Actually, there are totally different or opposite mechanisms. In a light emitting diode, we had applied electrical energy, and the output which was coming from the light emitting diode was light energy. Here we are doing opposite work. If I have this photodiode, input of the photodiode will be the light energy, and the output which is taken from the photodiode will be the electrical energy. So ultimately photodiode is one type of transducer, and this transducer is used to convert electrical energy, light energy to the electrical energy. So photodiodes are used always to convert the light energy into the electrical energy. This is actually first we should start from the basic principle. After completing the basic principle, we will write working basic principle, then working with a schematic diagram, IV characteristics, current voltage characteristics of the photodiode, and the how intensity of the light energy affects current voltage nature. So this is a photodiode. This is a body. This one is tape. Actually, photodiode is nothing but it is a one type of diode which is made up of silicon or germanium. Photodiodes are made up of silicon or germanium. Photodiodes are always operated under the condition of the reverse bias. As earlier we had noted that LED is always operated under the forward bias, but this photodiode is always operated under the condition of the reverse bias. How we would connect the photodiode under the condition of the reverse bias? This is a PN junction diode which is made up of silicon or germanium. P-type material, N-type material. P-type material, majority charge carriers are holes. N-type material, majority charge carriers are electrons. Minority charge carriers available in a N-type region, holes. Minority charge carriers available in a P-type regions, electron. Now I want to connect this photodiode under the reverse bias. So P-type semiconductor is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. N-type semiconducting material of the photodiode is connected with the positive terminal of the battery. So this connection is under the reverse bias. Now here we should note that there are two terminals, cathode and anode. Cathode is acting as a negative terminal, anode is acting as a positive terminal. Why? because cathode is taken from the n-type semiconducting material. In a n-type semiconducting material, majority charge carriers are electrons. So this terminal will act as a cathode, negative terminal. Anode is taken from the p-type semiconducting material. In a p-type semiconducting material, majority charge carriers are hole, and each and every hole contains the positive charge or positive in nature. So the terminal which is taken from the p-type semiconducting material is anode. This is a tape. Now cathode is always nearby tape, and the remaining terminal will be anode. For example, if I have this photodiode, there will be one tape, and the terminal which is nearby tape is known as cathode. Remaining terminal will be act as an anode. The dimension of the photodiode will be 2 to 3 centimeter only. Now I am going to discuss that how photodiode works. Working of the photodiode. Photodiodes are used to convert light energy to the electrical energy. This is a glass convex lens. If I am using this convex lens above the depletion barrier, then there is a possibility to achieve a maximum light which is falling onto the glass. So this light energy which is falling onto the convex lens or glass, that is concentrated. That light is being concentrated at the depletion barrier region, and in a depletion barrier region there is a availability of a recombination state in between electrons and hole. In short, in a recombination state, these are the recombinant state of the electrons with the hole. Electrons are negative in charge, holes are positive but not a charge. So between negative charge and positive charge there will be always attraction, and due to the such types of attractions, such pairs, electron hole pairs are available inside the depletion barrier. Now remaining body of the photodiode is colored or black color. Why we are using black color? So reason is that the black color absorbs the maximum light energy, and due to the black color heat energy can also be generated whenever light energy is falling onto the photodiode. So whenever light energy is falling onto the depletion barriers, recombination state of the electrons and holes. So I am drawing one electron hole pair. This is electron hole pair, and now I am drawing a light. So this is a light. This light is falling onto the depletion barrier region having energy E. Frequency of the incident light is F. So what happens? This is a bound electron. This electron is bound electron. Why this is a bound electron? Because this electron is not able to move from one place to the another place within the material. So this is a bound electron, and we know that bound electrons are always remain available in a valence band. So what happens if I draw the valence band as well as conduction band? So this electron is a valence electron, bound electron, because this electron is not a free electron, and valence electrons are always available to remain present inside the valence band. So this electron will absorb the light which is falling onto the depletion barrier. So energy of this electron is being increased, and if energy of the electron is being increased, then this electron will make a transition from valence band to the conduction, from lower energy level to the higher energy level. So input of the photodiode was light energy, and the output which is taken from the photodiode, that is the electric energy. This is a free electron. Why this is a free electron? Because this electron is available inside the conduction band, and this electron is able to move from one point to the another point, from one position to the another position. So this is a light energy that is being converted into the electrical energy. Now another thing is that what should be the characteristics, IV characteristics, current voltage characteristics, which is being obtained from the photodiode. So if I am drawing a graph of intensity versus, I am going to draw a graph of a photocurrent versus intensity. So we can say that if intensity of the incident light is being increased, then this current which is being generated by the photodiode, this is known as photocurrent. Photocurrent means it is the current generated by the photodiode whenever photons or light energy is falling onto the depletion barrier of the photodiode. So this is a photocurrent intensity, and if I am increasing intensity, then there will be the increment in a current. Now this is a straight line. This zero means theoretically, if no light is falling onto the photodiode, then there will be no conversion of valence electron to the conduction electron. This conversion, bound electron to the free electron, valence electron to the conduction electron, this will be possible when I apply a light energy. If I am not applying a light energy, this conversion is not possible. So in an absence of the light, no current is generated theoretically. But this is a reverse bias characteristics of the photodiode. Graph reverse voltage, reverse current at a different value of incident intensity. So I am increasing intensity, which is intensity of the light which is falling onto the depression barrier. So what happens? This is low intensity, medium intensity, this one is high intensity. So if I am increasing intensity of the incident light which was falling onto the depression barrier, then what happens? Photocurrent or this current which is generated by the photodiode is being increases. So this is a low intensity, medium intensity, high intensity, and then very high intensity.